Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Good morning, Day Dolphins. Your mission for today is to demonstrate that you know how to stay on task. We are going to work through a few scenarios.
You will have a few seconds to think about each scenario. You will also be able to share your response with a neighbor right next to you. And finally, have a chance to share your response with the rest of the class.
So let's get started. We are going to start with scenario number 1. Your social studies teacher has just passed out a worksheet and asks, "Are there any questions?" One of your classmates, Chandra, doesn't understand what to do and proceeds with asking a question. As soon as the teacher begins to answer the student, the rest of the class begins to chat with each other.
So take 30 seconds right now and think to yourself. 1, what is the problem in this scenario that makes it difficult for students to learn? And then 2, what could you do different in this situation to improve the overall learning in class? You have 30 seconds right now to think by yourself. Teachers, at this time, if you need to re-review the scenarios, please do so. So start thinking. All right, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, so now take 1 minute to share with a neighbor. Again, what is the problem in the scenario to make it difficult to learn, and how would you improve learning in this situation? So your 1 minute starts now. Begin sharing with your neighbor. All right, folks. I'm hearing some good conversation there. Just a few more seconds. All right. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, now take 1 minute for classroom discussion. Again, what makes it difficult in this scenario for students to learn, and how would you improve learning? All right, so your 1 minute begins now. Teachers, if you could please help facilitate discussion. All right, folks. Sounded like some great discussion out there. All right, everyone. I think we're getting down to a few more seconds. So let's start wrapping it up. Okay. 3, 2, 1, time.
Here's what some of your classmates thought when we asked them those same questions. So when we asked them what makes it difficult for students to learn, they thought, well, the other students are distracting. The class is falling off task, and Chandra can't even get any help in this situation. When we asked students about this second question, how would you improve learning, their responses were, well, others could stay on their task. Respect. Listen to the questions. And also, avoid chatting with others while the teacher is trying to help the student.
All right, everyone. Let's move on to scenario number 2. So, the math teacher spent 20 minutes explaining an assignment and answering questions. Many students asked the same questions about how to do the assignment, so the teacher has explained it multiple times. Finally, after all the questions have been answered by the teacher tells the students to begin working on the assignment. One student, Jebber, begins to ask students next to him for instructions on the assignment. When the students ignore him, Jebber starts asking others around him. Then the teacher asks Jebber, why is he talking? And he responds with, I don't get it. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, now it's your turn. Take 30 seconds to think. What makes it difficult for students to learn in this situation with Jebber? And number 2, how would you respond to your friend Jebber? And finally, what could Jebber do differently? Okay, take 30 seconds now to quietly think about responses to those questions. Okay, now it's time to pair share. Take 1 minute to discuss with the person next to you what makes it difficult for students to learn. How would you respond to your friend Jebber? And what could Jebber do differently in this situation? Okay, your 1 minute starts now. Please start discussing these questions with your partner. Alright, it was great to hear all of those excellent ideas. Now it's time for you to share out you and your partner's great ideas with the whole class. So as a class, go ahead and discuss those same questions now. little bit of time left. Start wrapping up that great discussion. When we talked to some of your classmates around the school, here's what they thought. Number 1, what makes it difficult for students to learn? Well, Jebber's distracting others. The class is falling off task, and Jebber doesn't even understand what to do. Here's what some of your classmates thought about question number 2. How would you respond to your friend Jebber? Well, you could remind him to be respectful and tell him to ask the teacher for help. You could ignore him now and explain later. Or you could ask your teacher if you can help him. And finally, we got these great ideas from some DMS Dolphins about question number 3. So what could Jebber do differently in this situation? He could respectfully ask the teacher. Or he could have asked for help earlier when the other students were asking questions. And finally, he could have asked the teacher if he could collaborate with a peer. Okay, we're going to take a look at the final scenario of the day, scenario number 3. Okay, here's the last scenario. You and your best friend are in PE together and are learning archery. You and your friend are really excited. Your friend keeps fidgeting and talking while the teacher is explaining how to use the bow. You want to share the moment with your friend, but you also think archery might be fun. And you feel like you might be really good at archery, so you really want to learn. Okay, I want you to think about this for 30 seconds to yourself. Number 1, what are some of the possible negative consequences as a result from the situation? Number 2, what can be done in this situation to stay on task? And finally, how would you address your friend if they were distracting you in a similar situation? Okay, your 30 seconds officially starts now. Remember, you're just quietly thinking to yourself responses to those questions. Okay, it's time to pair share again with the person next to you. And I want you to think about those same 3 questions. Here they are again. Okay, your 1 minute starts now. Go ahead and talk to your partner. Now it's time to take 1 minute to have a whole class discussion on those 3 questions regarding this scenario. Number 1, what are some possible negative consequences? Number 2, how can you stay on task? And number 3, how could you address your friend in this situation? Your 1 minute for class discussion starts now. Thank you for that great class discussion. Here's what some of your classmates thought about those same questions. So what are some possible negative consequences? Well, someone could get hurt. Someone could lose out on learning. Someone could even get in trouble. What about question number 2? Your classmates said, how can you stay on task? Well, respect your friend. Separate from the friend. Or ask the teacher a question. Lastly, how would you address your friend? Your classmates thought, well, respectfully ask the friend to stop. Communicate that you're excited about archery. Or let them know you'll talk to them later. Thank you, DMS Dolphins, for your participation in today's mission. It is safe to say this mission is now complete. I hope you have a great rest of your day here at DEC.